Let's see the quick demo of MVC integration in .NET Aspire. So here you can see my MVC app is running state, even my app service also is running state, and my DB also is running it. So my app service, app service actually interact within our MVC web app, and web app actually get the data, and this app service actually getting the data from this database. And let me open this my MVC app. So once you open here, my MVC app is open. There is a to-do list. Here I can just add our list. For example, like this is MVC, right? So if I just add that MVC, the data will got created and also will appear in our MVC, and which is interact in our app service, means by our API, which have this so many endpoints like to do list, and get and delete, swap and all. So let me add another one. For example, if I just add blazer, if I add that blazer, now if I want to move up, so I can just move up, so that actually handle using that API service. And also if I want to delete, so I can delete it easily. So that we will implement over here inside this Aspire. And not only this, actually previously actually we have a couple of front end also we have added over here: Angular, React, Vue, Blazor. So those are also actually it is integrated. So you can see over here, if I just refresh, that same data can appear for that Angular, same data I can appear in our React.js, same data appear in this Vue front end, and also same thing you can just see in our Blazor application. So yeah, let's moving to start implementation. So before we start implementation, I'm especially recommend if you first time visit my channel, which is .NET Real World Example, and if you scroll down, there is some section of Aspire. Now see here, I just integrate actually that Aspire session where actually first I integrate Blazor along with the React app, and after that Angular, and then we just integrate this one for that Azure function, also integrate Azure function in Aspire. And then lastly actually we just covered for this Vue app. So now we will start for that MVC app, web app also. So if you want to uh, refer those sessions, so definitely it will help for other front end or other app how we can integrate in .NET Aspire. And not only this, if you want to learn, you can learn many things in over here, like front end, back end, full stack developer, and also game development. Many things actually you can just learn in my channel. So now moving to implementation. So yeah, I'll just recommend I will take that same repository which I already just over here. So if you go to my GitHub link, and if you scroll down, so this is that repository, which is name is not correct, but yeah, you can refer this one. Inside this Aspire app, we have all that feature, or all that app actually we just integrated. So let me clone it and open it. So I just cloned and open over here in our Visual Studio. So whatever IDE you can just refer over here, like VS Code or Visual Studio. So I'll just using an VS Code, Visual Studio. So for if you open the Visual Studio, definitely you are not able to see those front end app like Vue, React, Angular and all. So if you want to see that one, so you can just go to that particular folder. If you go to that particular folder, you will able to see all that app, right? Like app service, this is a web app, React app, and yeah, this is the Angular to do front end, this is for React, and this is for Vue, and this is for Azure function, right? So those are actually you can able to see if you open in our VS Code. But for now, if we are trying to integrate in MVC app, so I think we are good for this Visual Studio. So first of all, what we need to do for MVC integration in .NET Aspire, we have to add that app. So before add that app, actually MVC app, actually first we have to make sure it is running perfectly or not. So for that, I'll just simply run this application and make sure, okay, this should be work as expected. So yeah, I just started this application, and you are able to see this is that storage. So this is a storage blob and queue, and this is our function, sorry, front end for React app. This is Angular app, and this is Vue app, and this is app service, this is function app, and this is DB, and this is for Blazor app. Okay, so if I just check any one of these, like for example this React app, yeah, so it is working expected. Yeah, if I just add, yeah, I am able to see that one. And same thing if I just try for Angular, so open is here, that React is there, and then Angular also, for example, yeah, Angular is over there. And if I check for Blazor application, so where is my Blazor? Yeah, this is my Blazor application. If I go to to-do list, and yeah, these two things over here, and also if I just refer for Blazor, yeah, these things over there. And yeah, also if I want to test the function, so I can able to test the function. So function, what will do, it will asking to, okay, import any image that will convert to less size. So that actually function does over here, Azure function. And once you're done, so you are able to see that data, that image also populated over here. So that means this is working fine. There is no issue over there. So once we make sure everything is working fine, then we can get started. So close that, go to that solution and right click on the solution, and yeah, right click on that and add new project. In this new project, I'll just looking for MVC app. So let me try to MVC, and once you select this, now see, you're able to see this template. So I'll just refer for C#. If you want to other language, you can refer that, but I'll just use for C#. Next, and just make it name according to your preference. So I'll just use MVC web application. Yeah, I think that pretty much good, or just make it short, MVC web app. Next, and yeah, whatever your supported SDK, you can just use it. So I'll just refer for framework.NET 9. So that pretty much good. And also, yeah, there's a way, actually, see, you can directly orchestrate your MVC app in .NET Aspire directly in using this checkbox. If you don't, so you can just uncheck, but yeah, I'll just refer using this, so that you don't need to take in care anything. So just simply create that. So now this new project got created in this solution over here, this MVC app. And yeah, once you just select this option, you will select, so you will able to see, if you go to this section in host project, go to that app host. If you scroll down, see this new project got added in your host file, right? And yeah, that also you can, once you run, you're able to see this application actually orchestrate in your Aspire project. Okay, and if you don't check that option, so simply you can just right click on that, add this, and yeah, there is an option, I think, orchestrate, yeah, this one, see, .NET Aspire orchestration support. So you can simply select, so automatically got created this reference in your app host project. And yeah, then you're good to go. So simply let me check one more time to run and see it is properly reference, or it is working as a default template or not. So yeah, it's getting started. If you scroll down, see, this is your MVC web app, right? And it's also running state, so I can simply run this over here. Yeah, that means this project perfectly working fine. Now what we will do, we will integrate this API service. Actually, we will consume this API service in our MVC app, and also we will integrate that to do feature, right? So that user can add a new to-do list, to-do item, and up and down, and also delete, those all the feature which we have uh, in our app services. So if we can check, if we have a swagger over here, now see there's a no swagger. So what I'll do first, I will add that swagger over here so that we can see all that endpoints. So for this actually there is a quick implementation. So I can just simply use one of that package for swagger. So go to here, go to your app service project, and just simply add this. This is app service. Yeah, this is app service. You can just simply stop that, and you can just add, yeah, swagger AI. So this is that package name. You can just refer. So swagger, swag block and ASP.NET Core swagger UI package, and whatever latest version you can refer it. So once you're done, now you can go to your project and go to that program.cs file, go to here, this environment section. Now see, it is already integrate open API, but this open API only just giving that JSON path, JSON file. So that JSON file actually we have to show in the swagger. So just a one line code actually we have to do over here, because we be using that map of that swagger extension. So that's why we add that that package. So once you add this package, now see this extension you will able to see, and you can just give it your JSON file path like open API v1 and JSON, and you can just refer your vision. That's it. Okay, so once you're done, now you can just run it, so you are able to see all that endpoint, whatever endpoint it have in your here. Okay, so this is just if I already have, so you can just ignore, but yeah, that's fine. Now moving to integrate this API app service in our MVC app. Okay, so for that, as what we need to do, we have to go to that MVC app and go to program.cs file, and in this program.cs file, before that build, we have to add that service, right? So for that service actually we have to create one client, so that we can resolve the dependency using that service using that client. Okay, so for client actually I need to create one of that client, uh, as like whatever client you want you can just create it, but yeah, I'll just refer for to do client. So right click on that, and I'll just simply create a class, just create add that. Okay, so this is to do client, and I'll just inject a primary constructor of HTTP client. Okay, and that's it. And then whatever our endpoints actually we have to expose over here, which is getting from what app service, and we can utilize over here, that we can use in our MVC service. So first actually we have to just create one get endpoint. So this is that my get endpoint, and also we have to create this to-do list. But yeah, simply you can just see nothing, just create a endpoint over here, and it is just HTTP client and get from the JSON, and calling your API name, which is coming from this like API name, just simply that API name, not a base folder and all, right? Base URL that will be handled in our dependency injection, but you can just simply that API name only, right? And that's it. It will just return your complete to-do list from that API. So let me just first create this to-do DTO inside this model folder. So let me create this, and what are that fields over here? Simply ID, name, and this. Okay, so yeah, I think this is fine. Now go back to here, simply refer that model reference over here, namespace, that then we are good to go. Okay, it's similar, we have to just expose other all endpoints. So let me just create another one, which is get to do by the item, right, ID, and then another one, simply I can just add a new to do list, new to do item over here, and another one we can just create for update that particular item if I want to update, so I can just update it. And then if I want to delete, so also I can just delete over there. And then there is another feature actually which have swapping, right? So if I want to swapping, so I can just swap over here. So now see this the swiping position, like which swiping actually you want, like id 1 to 2, so they will swap actually 1 to 2 as well. And there's also we want to up and down feature, that to do list, like suppose I want to which is the bottom, so I want to up, and which is up we want to bottom, right? So that functionality also we can integrate using this API. So make it is a move up, right, and this is move down. So this how actually you can just create your API client in your MVC app, and then go to that program.cs file. Here we can just resolve the dependency along with your APIs, right? So let me just do that. So for that actually what I can do, simply as you can just refer my Blazor application, right? So simply I can just use that builder dot services dot, here I can just use add http client, right? And in this http client, whatever your client, right? So which client you just created, I just create this client, save it, and come back and simply add it over here. And then you can just use a lambda expression, like for example client, and here you can just simply set your base URL. So where is we are coming your base URL? Base URL coming from, if you go to app.host project, and here see in this app.host project, where is your API service? So my API service is this, right? So this is my API service, and this is API service is refer, the name is app services, right? So that we have to refer for as a base address. And also one more thing, actually we have to reference, actually we, if we are trying to use that API service in our on our client app, so definitely you have to refer. So how we can refer it over here? So go to your particular web application, and here use that with reference, use dot with the reference, so that you can just refer which service you want to refer. So I want to this app service referred, and also until until load your or just wait, actually not this bit. So until your app service is not up and round, so you have to wait, this client app, or this web application should be wait to expose, or run this application. So that's it. Okay, so this setting actually you have to record over here. So once you're done, now go back to your MVC app program.cs file. Here just refer to client.base address, and this client.base address new, just use the settings, like for if I want to use both, like https plus plus http, both endpoint, right, both that endpoint. And what would be the base URL? Base URL would be your app service name. So what is that, your app service name? Your app service name is this, right? If you go to app host, you can able to see this is your app service name. So whatever name you are refer over here, same thing you just referred over here. That's it. Okay, so I think that pretty much good. Now we have resolved that our http client for this to do client, because see, if you go to here, so we are just trying to use http client, and how first if you are injecting something in your class, so definitely use a resolve. So here that resolve the dependency along with your service. So once you're done, now your service can get the data, all the data which is coming from that API, and now this client I can integrate in my view, right? Like whatever that UI. So for that actually I need to create a controller. So go to this controller, so which have already as a home controller, but I'll just create a new controller. So go to that controller and MVC controller empty, create this and just make it for to do, like whatever name you want, but as a, for that demonstration perspective I can use this. Okay, so now see, this is the to do client, sorry, to do controller, and in here what we will do, simply I'll just inject that to do client over here. So let me just create a constructor over here, and in this constructor I'll just index that to do client we just created, right? And this to do client actually we have just injected over here, and also need to assign as a private field so that I can utilize in this complete controller. Okay, and once you're done, now uh, we have to get all that, all that endpoints over here and to bind our view and other operation. So first operation would be like this, bind this all the data, right? So for that, how we can get, simply I can just call this endpoint to get this, right, to get a to-do list, and also I just make it await a sync over here, and whatever data we are getting we just simply bind this view. Okay, so this is actually MVC concept model view bind model view controller. So get the data from that model and get over here and bind in the view, right? So like this way actually we will implement other as well. Like for example, if I want get to-do list, so here I can just simply use this, right? I can just use this get to do's, and whatever that get to do's I can get as a JSON response. And also if I want to post, so I can just post the data. Like I want to add that form, actually if I want to post the data to create a new to-do list, so I can simply use that add http post and just use a model, same model, right, and pass all that links, and it will just call that API, it will create and return back that created result as well. Same things I can just create for another action, which is update. So let me create that action endpoint for update. So yeah, similar way also if I want to update, so take the data, call that API and done. And also I want to delete, if I want to delete, so I have to just create a delete for action. So I can use this as a post, or yeah, I think we can get a post, right? So yeah, I think that is pretty much good. So you can just action as a post. And yeah, another one is if I want to move up, so I can create this action move up. So based on this particular ID I want to move up, right? And also similar for down, I can just create another action for down. So this is for down, so same item I want to down, so I can just call simple API will handle and then get that response. That's it. And finally I will use as a swap function, swap action actually over here, so which can, you can just pass multiple ID 1 and 2, they will just swap internally 1 and 2. So yeah, this is pretty much good, right? So once you're done all this controller, right, so we have to create this particular view, right, like this index.view. So for that actually there is a actually create an add view, right? So simply you can just create add view over here, and this is a razor view, or you can just use CSTML, but yeah, whatever things actually it will just create it. And yeah, you can just use over here razor, and then make it that name, whatever name. So I'll just use that index.html, add that. So once you add that, now see, this is a simple plain view got created. You also can able to see over here, this is make it a to do control name. This is not quite good, right? Because we can just use this is rename it. Actually this is not right, so make it just to do name. Might be I missed somewhere, but yeah, simply you can just create inside the view folder to do and that particular index, so that once we call this to do controller, always call this first index, okay, this view. And here we want to implement all that feature, like add item, delete item, swap item, everything, right? So for that actually first actually get it that actually over here. Okay, I'll show you that from scratch. So first I'll just use uh, this view data, right, which will can show the title. So that will show the title. And yeah, after that what I'll do, actually I already had that design and also I don't want to create design. So first what I can do, I have the design, so let me copy the design over here. So see, this is my design, HTML design. So if you require, you can take it from my GitHub link. I'll just mention over here this repository. So this is a container, this is a card. I just take the card, and in here whatever data we are getting, right, so in this model whatever data design, we just simply bind it over here. That's it. And in this here, what we're trying to do, like there's an option, actually there's some icons which we can refer for up and down and also delete. So this is for delete, this is for down, this is for up, right? And also there's a feature like check and check. So this is that HTML for design this page, this view. And also we have that some style so that we can make it a little modern look over here. So let me add that over here. So this is the style section. Actually I'm just putting over here, but yeah, we can create a separate file and we can add that style over there, and we can simply reference over here. And also I'll just take it this reference actually to resolve our icon and all. So I just using this reference, but whatever your style you refer, you can just refer it. But this is the style, and this is style actually we are using in our here. And one more thing, actually we have to do this model, right? So we have to refer our model. So we are coming this model, so we are coming model actually our details. So we have to define our model over here. So this is my model, right? So list, getting the list of to-do list, and we are getting the to-do list, and which we can see over here. We are just getting the to-do list over here. We pass this view, and that view actually we refer this model and the binding over here. This is actually MVC concept. So if you knew of that MVC concept, you can refer my very long back videos or sessions, so you can take it over here. But yeah, as of now I'm just simply just following that over here. Okay, so this is done. Like you can just, if you run your application, definitely it will just bind the data, right? But there is a problem actually. So once you bind the data, you need to some action. Okay, so if you using this directly this action over here, so definitely it will just redirect your page. So avoid this redirection and persist on your page, we can use our JavaScript function, so that whatever call actually we can directly call it over here. We are not trying to redirect our page, and we can persist in our data, right? So for that actually what I can do, I can simply create a code script or section and a coding script over here, and simply I can just close that, just decorate over here. And here I just want to write our script. So there is another again two way, like you can just reference your script over here, or directly you can just create your script over here. So let me just create my script and let me explain. Actually there is a little big script. So simply I just create a function which have all that button, to-do list and all, because we are trying to manipulate, right? So whatever function, whatever action we will perform, we just manipulate our HTML. So that's why actually I'm just using this. So see, this is that actually get the data, post the data function, which will post the data and get the response. And this is that click function, right? So once I add this click function, so it will call that our API, right? And API, it will call that API, get the data, and we will bind the data. That's it, right? And this append the data. See, this is append item. So this is just appending whatever data we are want to show in our HTML. So we are trying to binding and append over here, right? So there's a yeah, this is also swiping functionality. This is swiping script, and also this is a button, bind button function over here. And this is a important part actually. This is the delete one. and this is for up and up. We want to up, so this is a up function. Simply the call that event and call that API and bind respective the data. That's it, same things, right? And if we want to change anything, so see, this is the change functionality. Once I check and check, so it will just perform that our update features, so it will update also. So finally it is just binding. So this is the text script which will action in this particular HTML, right, which will just handle all that actions, and it is pretty much good for here, I guess. Yeah, and one more thing, actually we will add this route in our here, where is our layout. So go to this layout, shared layout, go to this layout, and in here let me just copy one of that action. So let me copy this action and here, so that I can add new navigation which is just created for that. So I can just use to do, and here I can just use that index page, whatever index page, and here my to do list, actually to do list. Yeah, so that is pretty much good to call our controller, right, and the respective index which we want to call. And yeah, I think this is pretty much good. Let me see, if any issue we will fix it, run this application. Yeah, just getting started, and yeah, app service is running. Let me check that app service has that swagger, because we just add a swagger. Yeah, swagger is available, and also I see this all the 10 points. And if I just try to get this, so see, currently does not have anything, right? And let me, yeah, also my MVC app is running, up and running. If I run this, so home is working, privacy is working. Let me click the to-do list. So see over here, if I just call to do, and it is not calling in the particular controller and the respective view, right? So what is the problem? Let me go to that problem. If you go to our MVC app, if you go to that controller, so if I go to controller, see, one mistake actually I did over here while creating this controller. See, I just add this controller one, right? So if you add anything in this controller one, so that means that by default is MVC is not actually exclude this controller prefix, right? So that is the problem over here. So what I can do, simply right click on that, rename it, and just change to controller to controller. Okay, so this is that actually problem. So if you now, if you just leave it, okay, as a controller, as a prefix and any controller name, so it will just exclude and it will just determine, okay, this is your controller name. Okay, or there's other way, actually if you want to add this name, and also definitely you have to keep it full name on your route. Okay, because they will understand only this complete route. So save it now, refresh, and yeah, it want to stop and run it. So let me run it again and see in action. Yeah, it's running web front end. Yeah, I think this MVC is running. So if I just click open and to do list, see, now this time is nice, nice style along with this form, nice to do list. So let me try to function like this functionality, is it working or not? So let me add this MVC to do list. Okay, now cool, and even all this, button and all, everything is appearing over here. And if I add something, blazer, right, and here if I want to up, yeah, it is properly upping. And if I want to delete, I can delete it as well. And if I want to check, now see, if I check, so it is completely marked as completed, right? So that means it is perfectly working fine, there's a no issue. And yeah, this is how actually you can integrate all that application in your um, .NET Aspire, right? And yeah, also let me check other application as well. Let me open it up view. Yeah, same thing. See, once you're done, also it's mark is done. And if I see for Angular as well, where is my Angular one? Yeah, this is my Angular one. See, also it is perfectly fine. If I go to MVC, oh sorry, MVC already is there, so I can check for Blazor. Go to to-do list. Yeah, see, it's perfectly working fine. Yeah, so that is good for this session. But yeah, also yeah, before closing this session, what I'll do, I can just stop this and I push these changes so that you can utilize this is here. But yeah, why it's adding so much is okay, no issue. I'll just add I just push it over here in the same repository, right, which is this, so you can refer this repository. And yeah, that's all for this session. Thank you, have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share.